Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Brescher here again, reporting for duty. And today, we're going to be taking a look at using mental math and number sense to solve one-step equations. We'll also be using real-world problems to understand this. The standard listed below is what we're really focusing on. All right, let's move on. First of all, by the end of this lesson, it is my goal that you'll be able to help Peyton solve this problem. Peyton needs to get enough ice cream for everyone. Peyton has 4 pints of ice cream left over from his little sister's party, which was last weekend. He will need a total of 12 pints. Write an equation to represent how much more ice cream Peyton will need. Let K represent the additional ice cream needed, and then use mental math to solve it. You will be able to solve this by the end. And say hello to Peyton! Alright, first we need to look over some academic vocabulary terms. We have here an equation, and an equation is a mathematical sentence that has an equal sign. Okay, and here you can see 4 squared plus the square root of 9 equals 19. Okay, next one we have an open sentence. This is, an open sentence is an equation with one or more variables. So our variable here is x. All right, and finally we have a solution. A solution is a value for the variable that makes an equation true. And in this case, this value of 1 would make this open sentence true. Okay, well, let's check this out. Replace the variable with the given value. Is this the solution for the open sentence true? So I want to find out if this statement is true when I use y as my, or 3 2/10 as my solution. So go ahead and plug it in, and we'll check over it. Okay, let's go ahead and go over this problem. First, you're going to want to plug in that 3 2/10 value for y. If the statement is not true, then we're simply going to put a slash through the equal sign. And we know this is not the solution to this problem. So, this is not the solution. Can anybody figure out what the solution would be? That's right, 2 2/10 would be the solution for this one. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Tell whether each equation is true or false. So we want to make sure that the statement is true. In this case here, 6 plus 4 is 10. So this statement is not true. It is false. Can anybody think of maybe a way we could make this true? Okay. One thing that we could do, yes, we could end up adding 1 more to this side of the equation. Or we could also subtract 1 from this side. All right, let's move on to the next ones. So we know that this one is not true. How about the next one? This side is equal to 4. Is 3 5/10 plus 1/2 equal? Yes, it is. It's equal to 4 also. So this one is true. Good job. And this one, 54 divided by 6 is 9. 13 minus 3 is 10. So this one would not be true. Can anybody think of a way to make this statement true? One way to make that last statement true. Okay, instead of 13 minus 3, you could put 13 minus 4 right here. We could change that to a 4. Or we could also put minus 1 more. Or if you think mathematically, you might have said, well, we could put 9 is less than 10. So we can make it into an inequality. All right, and the last one. Ooh, this is tough. We need to do the multiplication first. Because of order of operations, it tells us that we do multiplication before we would do any addition or subtraction. So once we did that and solved it, we end up getting, let's see here, 37 equals 31? Can you find maybe the mistake or the way to make this statement true by simply changing something? Exactly. If this were a plus sign instead of a minus sign, this would actually make it 37. So then we could make the statement true. But the way it's written right now, this is not a true statement. Okay, now let's check out what we got down here. Can you find the solution or the value for x to make this statement true? Pause the screen, try to solve it, and see what you come up with. Okay, once we do this division part over here, and we find the answer is 122 when we solve 976 divided by 8, now we have to solve the rest of the problem. Okay, so what would you have to add to 115 to get to 122? If you came up with the answer that x would equal 7, you are absolutely correct. Good job. Let's move on. All right, which equations are true? Check all that apply. So we have to look through all of these. This is a pretty challenging one. The first one seems pretty simple. 6 plus 6 is 12, and 11 plus 1 is 12. So this one I'm going to put a check mark. Go ahead and try to solve the rest of them on your own. See if you can find all of them that are true. Okay, and then we'll go over them. All right, let's see how you did. This next one, again, we have to use order of operations. 13 minus 5 here that we have to do first is going to give us 8. Okay, plus 14. And I can already see the answer over here, 69, that's going to be much, much higher than 8 plus 14. So this one is definitely false. Okay, this next one, I have to do division first here. So 8 minus 2 is equal to 6, and 8 minus 2 is equal to 6. So this one is true. Okay, this one here, this is 24 plus 10, which would be 34. And if you're subtracting, that's obviously not going to work out. And finally, my last one, 9 minus 1 is 8. And when we add these numbers together, can anybody think of the fraction that is the same as 25 hundredths here? What fraction is the same as 25 hundredths? That's right, 1/4. So 3 and 1/4 plus 4 and 3/4. Well, 1/4 and 3/4 makes 4/4. So that would make a whole. And when you add that whole plus 3 and plus 4 more, we get 8. So that one would also be true. Excellent. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. Find the solution. Pause the screen. See if you can find the solution that makes, obviously, the statement true. Okay. Let's go over them. So what did you come up with? First, we'll look at behind this one, x equals 13. R equals 12. N equals 14. Q, ooh, that was a tough one, equals 5/10. Can you think of the fraction that's equivalent to 5/10? 1/2. Good job. And P equals 6. Moving on. Okay, now we got some guess and check. We're going to practice this guess and check. Okay, and what we do when we practice guess and check, we're just going to kind of estimate, and then we're going to adjust or revise our answer from there. So 9 and 2/10 minus something is going to equal 4. Well, 9 minus 5 equals about 4. So I might check by putting in the value of 5. And I would end up with 9 2/10 minus 5 equals 4 2/10. So I'm going to have to actually say h is equal to 5.1. I would revise my answer. Here, I know that 22 times 10 is 220. And I need to get to 264. So I might revise and say b is equal to 11 or 12 until I find out that 12 is the correct value. On this one, I may guess right off the bat about 10. And 10 plus 78 is 88. And I realize I need to add more than that. So I'll change or revise my x value to 15. And that makes the statement true. And then you could do the same thing for this. 92, you want to get to 5, so you might guess something like 92 divided by 10 is 9.2. And then just kind of revise until you get the correct answer. All right? If we look at this question, Johnny went to Walmart last night at 5:30 and got home at 7:15. He bought a football and a new watch. If the football was $14.95 and the total cost, not counting tax, was $78.35, how much was the watch that Johnny bought? So we have to think about, what do we know first, and then can you try to write an algebraic equation for this problem? Solve this one then using the guess and check method. Okay, and finally we're back to helping Peyton. Can you help Peyton find the answer to this problem? You should have written the algebraic equation of 4 plus k equals 12. And then, using number sense, the solution would be 4 plus 8. So k's value would be equal to 8 pints. Well, I hope this helped you out. See ya!